days of the whole year, I got to tell you. I wanted to read you quick and tell you two little things. One is I love to douse myself with essential oils before yoga starts. So if you're an essential oil person too, Balance Blend is a great essential oil for today and like really every day. But because, the spring equinox is when the day is balanced, right? The light and the dark, the sun and the moon, it's all in balance. So Balance Blend is a good one for that. I wanted to read you the quote. I just made myself a little tea. How perfect is this little reading? So it's hard to read without my glasses because it's teeny tiny. Be kind to others, but always be compassionate to yourself. And isn't that what this whole Yoga Superfood and Self-Care Challenge is about? Like filling your own self-care cup, starting with you, so that, you have more positive energy to give from, right? So thank you guys so much for being here. Please make your way to your mat. And no special equipment is required at all. It is going to be about a 30-minute R&R spring equinox and also the spring new moon. And we'll talk a little bit about that. So it's renew and reset. This is the perfect time of year to kind of shake off the winter blahs and begin again. So new beginnings, right? So the new moon, again, is as the moon transitions through its different cycles through the month, the new moon is when it's about new beginnings. So isn't it so perfect that it's the spring equinox and the new moon together at the same time? I hope you're journaling about what your intentions are. And this is the most profound day of the year to reset intentions, to plant seeds. To plant seeds of your intentions, they're just a lot more likely to flourish, right? And to grow and to bloom eventually. All right. Come to your easy seated position. You can cross your legs again, just like it's a little less adventurous yoga practice tonight, but you can sit up on a block. And whether you're watching it live, I know a few of you could make it live. If you're watching it on a replay, all good. Just please show up for yourself. Sit up on a block or a pillow if you like. Rest your hands down onto your knees. Turn your palms to face up. Drag your elbows backwards so they're right underneath your shoulders. Bring your thumb and your index finger together to touch. Close your eyes. Slow down. Land on your mat. Land right here, right now. Take a deep cleansing breath in through your nose. Sit up a little taller. Feel your body come into alignment. And as you exhale, drop tension from your jaw, your face, your neck, and your shoulders. Again, calm energy on our inhale. Breathe in whatever positive intention you're working towards. Breathe that in on your inhale. And as you exhale, release and let go of all the negativity, anything that's holding you back, anything that no longer serves you. That's part of what moving into the spring season is all about. We're letting go of that old garbage to make room for the new. And let's do one more breath. Inhale. Sit up really tall, open and lift your heart to receive positive energy. Breathe it into every cell of your body. And as you exhale, again, mindfully release and let go and try to just contemplate, what can I let go of that no longer serves me? Maybe it's a thought, maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's a food, whatever. We're all on our own little journey, right? Bring your hands together in prayer. And just like we did with yesterday's practice, we're going to do Lotus Mudra first. So that is your thumb and your index, your thumb and pinky fingers stay touching. So your thumb and pinky fingers still touch and press together, but your three middle fingers spread apart. You're going to inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to release and draw up and out, looking upward. And imagine again that these seeds that we're planting right now, these intentions and this positive energy, we're planting that seed as the spring equinox is the perfect day to do that. So plant that positive seed of intention, draw your hands back to heart center, and then bring them back to your heart center. And bow to yourself for just a second for showing up and for being here. All right, go ahead and make your way to child's pose. We'll start to flow. Again, this is going to be a slow flow practice, just about 30 minutes. It goes really quickly, so try to block out distraction the best you can and just be here and now. So sitting your hips back onto your heels, your forehead down to your mat. Take a deep breath in through your nose and into your low back. And then shift forward to your hands and knees, curl your toes. Let's lift up into downward facing dog and take 3 deep breaths. Feel free to pedal out the heels right and left if that feels good for you. But mindfully bring awareness to your hands so you're very grounded through the fingertips, knuckles, and palms. Pedal one more time right and left. And then draw forward into plank pose, right to the top of a push-up. Alignment, right, as we were talking about, aligning not only your physical body, your wrists, your elbows, your shoulders, your hips, your heels, but also our thoughts and our intentions into what our actions are going to be. One more very deep breath in. You can keep your legs straight if you want to, or modify by bending your knees to your mat. And then your elbows slide right by your ribcage as you lower down to the mat. Inhale, open up to a cobra. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Check that your shoulders are away from your ears and your elbows are in towards your rib cage. Curl your toes, lift your hips back up to the sky, land back in downward facing dog, and take a deep breath in. We're going to do that 2 more times. So shifting forward on your next inhale, pause. Again, either straight legs or bent knees. Shift and lower all the way down to your mat, softly landing. Point your toes, come up to a little baby cobra, opening up the heart. And then curl the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog, push back. We're going to do that 1 more time, just a little bit faster. So inhale to plank, exhale to lower down, inhale into a gentle little cobra, and exhale back, downward facing dog. Okay, perfect. So walk your hands backwards towards your feet. We're going to slide the hands to the shins. We're going to inhale, open up the heart, halfway lift. And then exhale into a forward fold. And in our forward fold, we're going to separate the feet a little wider apart. The pinky toes are to the outside edge of your mat. Grab onto opposite elbows. Draw the forehead to the forearms and just sway from right to left, releasing all tension in your head and your neck and your shoulders. Good. Do that 2 more times, just swaying from right to left. And then release the fingertips down to touch the mat. Toe heel your feet together. We're going to do a halfway lift. Slide the hands to the shins again. Open the heart. And then exhale into a forward fold. We're going to come all the way up to standing this time. So you can come rolling up to standing, like stacking your vertebrae one on top of each other. And then sweep the hands all the way out and up to the sky. Inhale, lift up. And then find yourself in mountain pose. And that just means good posture, good and open with the heart grounded through the feet, even distribution of weight in all parts of your feet. So we're going to do tree pose next, and I would encourage you to then take this outside at some point if the sun is still shining when we're done, wherever you are, and salute the trees, right? So transition into one foot. Bring the other foot to the inner thigh. I did this earlier today with my Instagram reel. You can certainly remix my Instagram reel and do it with me. That would be beautiful. Find your balance. Okay, because again, this is all about balance today. If you lose your balance at any time, no worries. Feel free to use a wall or a chair or something to help you with your balance. Hands in heart center. We're going to do that lotus mudra again. So you're going to turn the 3 middle fingers, the index, middle, and pinky ring finger, spread them out. Plant that seed of intention. And then reach the hands all the way out and up. And again, if you lose your balance, just have a sense of humor with it, do the best you can. But reaching the hands out and up to the sky. And if you can bring the focus of your eyes upward as well, even better. So plant that seed, your positive intention, renewing and beginning again. Draw your hands back to heart center, release your hands down. Good. And we're going to take a big sun breath in. And if you were a little weeble wobbly on that side, maybe the other side will be a little bit more balanced. We'll see. Okay, let's try it again. So switching sides, and you can have your foot above your knee on your inner thigh if you like, or below your knee on your calf, and bring your hands back to heart center and pause. Again, I love saluting the sun and the moon and the change in seasons. It just brings awareness to all of it, which is so beautiful, because as the saying goes, like, nothing blooms all year long, right? There's a cycle to everything. So if you were feeling the winter blahs, don't criticize yourself for that, or don't worry about that. It's okay, right? And this might be your season to bloom. Plant that seed of intention. Maybe this is not as balanced as the other side. And then reach the hands all the way out and up towards the sky if you can, spreading those 3 middle fingers apart. Keep the focus of your eyes. That will help with balance. Some days, maybe not. And then bring your hands back to heart center. I always like to say, have a sense of humor with your balance, because it is about challenging ourselves, right? If we're just doing something that is easy and we don't ever lose our balance, then are we really getting stronger? Are we really growing in any way? Probably not. All right, we're going to move on now. So you can move to the one edge of your mat and just turn to the side. Bring your hands together in prayer. Again, even distribution of weight. You can reach your hands all the way out and up to the sky. Take a very deep breath in, reach out and up. And then exhale, take a big dive forward into a forward fold. Let's do your halfway lift again. Inhale, look forward, lengthen out your spine, open through your heart center, and then take a walk forward into plank pose. We're going to be right at the top of a push-up position, and we're going to hold plank for 3 breaths. So inhaling, imagine you're opening the heart, engaging through the core, and squeezing your thighs. Again, if you want to modify this, feel free to bend your knees. And then we're going to lower all the way down to the mat again. Inhale, open to that cobra. One more time here. And then exhale. This time we're going to be in child's pose. So hips back to heels, forehead down to the mat. And what I want you to do for this child's pose is come into a restorative child's pose with your hands back by your feet and your palms facing the sky. And your forehead resting down towards the mat. Okay, if it doesn't quite touch the mat, you can always like put a pillow under there. You can have one hand under your forehead, whatever feels good for you. Okay. Now I want you to imagine for just a second that you are a tulip bulb, because the tulips are blooming right now. They're just about to, if they haven't already. And just like I was saying a second ago, nothing blooms all year long. A tulip doesn't bloom all year long. This is its time to bloom. But what does it need to bloom? It needs nourishment. It needs sunlight. It needs water. It needs nutrients from the soil. And that's what we need, and that's what we're working towards with this reset, nourishing our bodies with healthy, healing, anti-inflammatory superfoods, practicing self-care to recharge our spirit, right? Those are the things that we need in order to be our best. So I want you to just we're going to take a 30-second time out. I'm going to give you a moment of silence, and I want you to just kind of contemplate that and think about what you can do over these next few days or weeks or months to nourish and to recharge and to renew and to reset your warrior spirit. Okay, so just contemplate that and breathe. Take a few more moments in silence just to listen to your thoughts. And now staying in child's pose for just a few more breaths, I want you to just feel the breath coming into your belly and expanding into your thighs. So as you inhale, you bring the air in and it expands into your belly, down into whatever's underneath you. And just feel the air coming in and out. Good. And then go ahead and make your way up to your hands and knees. And we're going to do Spinal balance next. Again, we're going to do a decent amount of balance poses here and some hip openers tonight. So the right leg's going to go straight back, and I want you to make sure that the hip is level. So it's really normal to kind of hike the hip up like this. I want your toes pointed straight down to the mat. If you touch the mat, they will all touch straight down. So your right hip is dropping, and then your left arm is going to reach straight forward. Make sure your neck is in line with your spine. So what you see, what we're doing, drop your nose to point towards the floor so the neck is straight in line with your thoracic spine. Now pull the belly in and up and reach forward with your left fingertips, up with your left thumb, and back with your right heel to engage that glute. Feel the strength at the core of the body. Take one more breath. Nice and easy pose, working on some balance. And then releasing your hand and your knee down, and let's switch sides. So the left leg's going to go straight back again. Check that the toes are pointing straight down to the floor, and then float the right hand straight up with the right thumb to the sky. Look down towards your mat so your nose is pointing to your mat. Pull the belly in and up. Reach your right hand forward. Reach your right thumb to the ceiling and flex your left heel back and breathe. Spinal balance. Again, just honoring the balance that's in our nature, in our environment right now. Release your hand and your knee down, and let's pick that up and just alternate right and left. So right leg, left arm, inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift it up. Opposite arm, right hand, left foot. Exhale, lower it down. Now, I want you to just continue to flow with that, but see if you can land your hand and your knee at the exact same time. Inhale, mindfully lifting up. And exhale, mindfully releasing down, hand and knee touching at the same time. Do that 4 more times, just pacing yourself. You have permission here to slow down and be very mindful with your movement. Okay? Doesn't have to be super hard, doesn't have to be aggressive, we don't have to be pushing forward. We're just mindfully moving and breathing. Okay, once you finish, 1 more time on each side. You can go ahead and come to hero's pose. So you're just sitting your hips back onto your heels just like this. Okay, if that's not comfortable in your knees for some reason, you can just cross your legs and have a seat. And we're going to go back to Lotus Mudra. So draw your hands to heart center. Pause. Glance down to your fingertips. Now I want you to spread those 3 middle fingers apart and imagine you are taking your intention, your word for the year, your goal, your hopes, your desires, and you're planting it right there between your palms. Plant that word, plant that intention. And then go ahead and seal your palms together as if you were planting that seed. And we're going to lift and reach the fingertips back up to the sky. No balance this time, so you can really focus on this. And then spread those fingertips back out and look up. Again, drawing the palms together to touch, and then bring the hands back to heart center. And here's what I just want you to acknowledge about this. Again, this is such a perfect and important and powerful day to reset intention. I feel like any seed you plant today of intention is going to be a lot more likely to flourish, right? So that's what's so powerful. We will have one more opportunity to do this at the very end too. Again, your healthy boundaries, your calm energy, your intention, and of course your actions. All right, let's go ahead and lie down on our back. We're going to do just a little bit of breathing, and then we're going to do some hip openers. Okay, so lie down on your back a second. You're going to draw your feet together and your knees out to the side with your hands resting onto your stomach. Close your eyes, everyone. Just close the windows to the soul, as they say. So you're blocking out distraction and focusing inward. With your hands resting onto your stomach, bring awareness back to your breathing. Inhale through the nose. Feel the hands float up on the inhale. And as you exhale, feel the hands float back down. Soften any tension that you might be feeling. Now, as you rest here in this reclined butterfly stretch, mindfully breathe. We're going to do what's called a box breath, which sends a very calming message to the central nervous system. And again, it's an even in-breath, hold, exhale, and a hold, which is balancing and allows the central nervous system to really calm down. Your central nervous system, your breathing, your brain to your gut is all about rest and digest and recover, reset, and renew. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to talk you through it. You're going to just take a breath to prepare. So just breathe normally. And if this is new for you, just take it easy. It comes with practice. So just take an easy breath. And then we're going to breathe in for 4, 3, 2, hold your breath, 4. Exhale for 4. And hold your breath for 4. Again, inhale for 4. Hold. Exhale. And hold. 2 more times. Inhale. Hold. Exhale, feel yourself soften and release. And hold. 1 more time. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. And hold. Awesome. That's called the box breath. Now just breathe normally and just scan your body quickly and just notice if you are holding any of your tension, if you feel a little more calm. You can practice that breathing anytime, anywhere. Very calming for your central nervous system and also very balancing. Go ahead and draw your knees together to touch. You can hug your knees into your chest. You can roll into one side and push yourself up, or you can rock and roll up to sitting and make your way to child's pose. We're going to do some hip openers next. Okay, so hip openers tend to be a place to, an opportunity, I should say, to release more tension and more stress. They tend to hold stress. So starting in child's pose, we'll make our way back to downward facing dog, and we're going to do 1/2 vinyasa flow first. So downward facing dog first, just grounding yourself, again, feeling a sense of peace and gratitude that you showed up. And this particular class and this challenge that we're doing together is really about, not only are we practicing self-care, but we're raising money for another organization. So it's definitely a win-win. You're taking good care of yourself, and you're also giving to others that could really use some support right now. Let's shift the weight forward into plank pose. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bend your elbows and lower down. Inhale to open the heart, receiving good positive energy. Feel the heart lift and be open to receiving that. And then exhale, curl the toes, lift the hips, and come back to downward facing dog. If you'd like to, you can lift your right leg straight up to the sky. If that's not comfortable, you don't need to. It's all good. You can also bend your knee and kick a little bit open with your hip. You're going to take a deep breath in. You want to feel even distribution of weight through both hands, by the way. And then we're going to shift forward and come into a pigeon stretch by drawing the right knee to the right wrist. You're going to point your left toes first and slide your left foot as far back as you can, walking your hands back towards your calf and lifting and opening your heart with a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, we're going to release the forehead down, and you can rest your head, your forehead, right between your eyebrows, onto your hands if you want to, onto your fists. Now the breathing exercise that we just did, that box breath, we're going to practice it again while we're in this pigeon stretch. Okay, so if your hips tend to be very tight, maybe you're a little uncomfortable here, the breathing will help you relax into it. And if you love pigeon pose, you'll get a little bit more out of it with the breathing as well. So let's give it a try. So inhale for 4. Hold. Exhale. And hold. Again, inhale. Hold. Exhale. And hold. One more time. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. And hold. Good. Very, very good. We're going to go ahead and lift the torso up and out of your pigeon stretch. We're going to get a Turkish twist next and a double pigeon. So you can bring your right hand down to your mat or the floor and drop your right hip down. We're going to swing the left foot over and cross it across the right knee. Now you may notice right away that your left hip lifted way up if your hips are tight, so you're leaning to the side a little bit. Try to drop that left hip down so both sitting bones are level, okay, and the spine is straight. You're not leaning to one side, in other words. We're gonna take the right hand, bring it across the left knee, take the left hand and put it behind your tailbone. Now on your inhale, sit up even taller, and as you exhale, look over your left shoulder, twisting through the spine. You can take a little pressure, a little strength from your right hand, and drag your left knee over towards your right shoulder. That's gonna give you a little bit more of a stretch. If you want to, you can also take your elbow across your knee, and that's going to take you even further into the stretch. But again, just honor and protect and be where is most comfortable and is best for your body. Take one more very deep breath in, looking out over that left shoulder. Such a great stretch, and then we're going to gently release out of that. And then what I want you to do, there's a couple different options here. You can bring the left shin just out in front of the right shin. If your hips tend to be tight, that's the best option for you. You can also do double pigeon by or fire log stretch, it's also called, pose. You can stack your shins on top of each other where your ankles are right over your knees. Now, if you tend to be like this, or your ankle is really twisted in order to get there, it's not the best pose for you. Let it go. You don't need to force it. Just bring the foot out in front instead, and that's better for you. Okay, makes sense? Take a deep breath in wherever you are, and then walk your hands forward and fold inward. And as many of you have heard me say, probably so many times, forward folds, folding inward, is an opportunity to be introspective. So as you fold inward or forward, you can drop your head down between your arms. You're getting a hip stretch, of course, but you're giving yourself this opportunity to sort of quiet your mind and look inside. Again, the new moon is very symbolic for new beginnings. The time is now to kind of shake off the winter and celebrate the spring season and new beginnings. And it's a wonderful time to reset and to plant seeds for your intentions. So just take a moment to listen to your thoughts again, to reflect on what you want and the action steps you want to take in order to get there. Just take a couple nice deep breaths. You softly fold forward. Feel free to walk your hands a little more forward if that feels good for you. And then we're going to go ahead and walk your hands back. Now, if you did have one shin in front of the other, okay, or the foot on top, I just want you to notice what foot that is. For me, it's the left right now, but it could be your right. You could be on the opposite. So I just want you to notice it because we're going to do the other side, okay? Go ahead and come into child's pose first. Hands forward, knees bent, hips back to heels, deep breath in. Come into downward facing dog again. Spread your fingertips out wide, lift your hips up, pressing back. And then your left foot's going to lift up to the ceiling if you want to, and you can bend that knee and kick open with your hip, but just make sure you have that even distribution of weight through both hands out in front. And then shift your weight forward, bringing your left knee to your left wrist. Point your right toes, slide your right foot as far back as you can. Walk your hands back towards your left calf or shin. Open up your heart and breathe deeply. And then exhale, fold forward. Again, you can stack your fists on top of each other if you like and rest your forehead there, or feel free to rest your forehead straight down to the mat. And let's practice that box breathing one more time, okay? That breathing that really sends that calming message to the central nervous system, all right? So here we go, breathing in for 4, and hold, exhale, and hold. Inhale, hold, exhale, and hold. One more time, breathing in deeply for 4. Hold,
Exhale and hold. Beautiful job. Go ahead and walk your hands back to your shin. We're going to do that twist. So the left hand can come down off of your mat towards the floor. Drop your left hip down. I'll turn to the side. And then your right foot is going to swing over and across on the other side of your left knee. And you're going to drop your right hip down, right? And you're going to sit up as tall as you can so you're not leaning to one side. And we're going to do the twist. So the left hand across the right knee, the right hand behind the tailbone. We're going to inhale, open and lift the heart. And then exhale, twist and look over the right shoulder. And again, a little pressure from your left hand into the outside of your right knee. Kind of pull it over and across. That gets a little bit more into the piriformis, into the glutes, the hip, different parts of the hip. Each time you inhale, you sit up a little taller. Each time you exhale, you can twist and go a little bit deeper. Feel free again to take the elbow across the knee also, if that feels good for you. Take one more very deep breath in and out through your nose. And then exhale, slowly rotating out of it. Okay. And then this right shin is going to go in front of the left, as long as this is the opposite side as what you did before. Or if you want to do that fire log stretch and that feels good for you, double pigeon. Like this hip is tighter for me. See how this knee is really up and the ankle is sort of what we call sickling. No good, not good for ankle stability. So it's better for me in this position to just let go of ego and not try to force it and just have a foot out in front. Perfect, because you're gonna get a stretch either way. So, and that's what it's about, right? So go ahead, fold forward and allow yourself to come into whatever version of the stretch feels good and right for you, and acknowledge that you're just honoring your body. So again, as you fold inward, this is an opportunity to quiet the mind and be introspective. So maybe close your eyes, focus on your breathing, and take a little time out. I'll hold one more space for silence so you can really listen to your thoughts. One more deep breath in. We have so few opportunities for silence anymore, so the silence is truly golden. And I hope that you take the opportunity for the next few days to maybe find more time for silence. Maybe when you're driving in your car, turn off the TV for a little while, go sit somewhere where you can really just listen and maybe journal, contemplate, reset, and really use this season of new beginnings to reset those positive intentions and plant those positive seeds. Go ahead and sit yourself up, and we're going to do one more Lotus Mudra before we finish. So if you do want to sit up on a pillow or block, feel free to do that. And we're going to hit the reset button one more time here. So, like we always say this in the yoga world, if it were just so easy, like when you need, when your phone needs a reset, when your computer needs a reset, and you just have to do that. You have to hit the reset. You got to reboot. It's the same thing. It's like we are the same, and that's what all these seasons are all about. So this right here, right now, and especially for the next few days and the upcoming weeks as we transition, is a beautiful time to hit that reset button. So if you do want to do juices, it's not too late. You can still do that next week. Or if you maybe got off track and you didn't do all the food exactly the right way, which, by the way, there is no perfection, right? We know that. Don't worry about it. Just try to do it again tomorrow or next week or whatever. Do the best you can with it, okay? It's not too late if you got a little off track, okay? Hit that reset button. Bring your hands together in prayer one more time for that Lotus Mudra. So thumb and pinky finger are touching, 3 middle fingers spread out wide. Plant that seed of intention. Take a deep breath in, whatever your word, phrase, mantra, hope, desire, dream is, plant that seed. It's a perfect time to do that today. And then exhale, press your palms together, planting that seed between your palms. Lift your hands out and up to the sky. Spread your 3 middle fingers apart one more time, looking up, opening up to receive and to nourish and to bloom as we transition. Seal your hands back together to touch and draw your hands back to heart center and bow again to yourself for showing up.
and for being present. Take a deep breath in together. Inhale, reach out and up. Yes, and exhale, hands back to heart center. And the light within me honors and acknowledges that same light that is within each of you. Remember, as a group, we have more positive energy. We get on that upward spiral a little bit more as a group. So I'm so proud of you for all sharing that positive energy with each other and for giving back to an organization called Believe Big that helps cancer warriors on their healing journey. So thank you for supporting them as well. And please continue to practice your own self-care. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks again for being here. Tonight would be a great night for a hot bath too. So just saying, just a thought. Okay, peace. Stay flexible, warriors. Bye.